talk about that one.
Have a live stream if you have more questions. Anyone is welcome on that stream. Hey, Nate. So I'm really trying to see if what's his
let's
name.
See what this one says. I don't think I remember reading this one. I'm an AIT, and I was taking a short essay about what's professional.
I don't know. I've been doing things. I hope. What's his name? Eddie Majuva joins in with us. It's just kind of hard to get engaged. I'm just trying to create a real following, but I don't know. It's just kind of tough because it's like I don't really have the ability to spend a lot of money to really build my channel as quick as I'd like to build it. Like if I had 10 grand a month for my channel, which is one of my themes, I could just have like one of my subscribers give away, gets a free like 4-star trip to New York, at least from the US. And or if they're under 20, they can have one adult relative accompany them, or maybe a plus one if they're over 20, just for quality's sake. And I do that along with buy some ads. I could really have a huge channel, but I don't. I'm just kind of get discouraged that, and as the military is not as viable for me anymore, I'm less interested in doing this kind of stuff.
What a professional soldier.
So that's kind of what I've been up to. If any of you guys wins the lottery, please consider subsidizing me. Hey, Michael, are you from Michael Ike? Are you from the Chaos video, or are you a new viewer? You will almost certainly get promoted to the rank of moderator. You just make one other normal comment. Let me see if we can get Jay Daniels in here. Daniels went over the paperwork with a few other people. Congratulations. Can discuss this more on my new live stream. Yeah, so what'd you think of my previous videos? They're okay. I'm not sure if I'm really going to try to pursue the military journalism thing. My parents weren't that into it. I don't have as much money as I'd like to pursue it as a career. I'm looking at other jobs. So that's kind of what's happening with me. I usually just knock these streams out. Like I don't private them, but I just make them, unsearchable because I don't want them to become something that could negatively influence an employer down the line who is not part of like the military or about social media marketing. But I definitely think about enough money to buy YouTube ads. I think I could get into at least a few thousand subscribers, but it's kind of hard. But I like that I'm grinding out well. If anyone can comment, that'd be really great. I only see 2 people in the comments, but it's hard to see who's really watching. Because you never really know the way YouTube's been acting. If you guys don't have any questions. Okay, so great question. Let's just see if I can wrangle anyone else into joining. But I'll almost certainly get into that. So, the long story, and I'm more than thrilled to tell it. Medically disqualified from Army National Guard, medically disqualified from the U.S. Navy Reserve, and I looked into the Air Force a little bit. Wasn't that into it? I was medically disqualified from there. I wanted to do this New York State Guard, and it just didn't work out. I sent the packet in, asked for a MEPS date, and just didn't get a response. It's not exactly MEPS, but it's kind of similar. It was also pretty expensive because they didn't have any assistance, so you'd either have to take a train that would take about 6 hours to get there with all the public transit and still pay about $50 for an Uber, or just pay like $200+ to take Ubers there and back because it's all the way in the middle of this very remote place in like 30 miles past like the edge of Westchester versus I'm in New York City. So it's like I'd have to go out and out and out now. So that would be the hard part. So that's part of why I was into it. Coast Guard Auxiliary was something I was really into doing, but my parents weren't into it, and it would take a while for it to have ever been approved as a school internship. Kind of on the fence if that's something it's worth pursuing. I don't mean it's worth pursuing and all the problems will create my family. If it was not for the issue, medication. Weirdly enough, for a variety of personal reasons, including one of the medication manufacturers changing how they made one of the pills I took, and not being able to find a generic substitute because it just was different. They changed the formatting of how they made the capsule work, so it just didn't work the same way in my metabolic system. So I realized I probably could have gone off my meds, but I don't know if that would have really worked academically. So it would have been pretty hard to do. I mean, I'm kind of getting close to the end of school, college. I mean, and the National Guard of the state of New York said I can. There's a chance, not a great chance, but a chance I could join the National Guard and get a waiver to take medication. So it's kind of there. That and I have some interest in maybe moving to Ireland or the UK. And besides potentially looking at like the Irish right to return stuff, um, it would be a lot harder to live overseas and still have to report and be on IRR, and I can't join a different foreign military like Australia's military if I'm on IRR in the United States. It's an 8-year commitment, so I'm not sure if I want to do it. But assuming moving out of the country was in no way on the scene, no, I tried ROTC. That's an even weirder story. Basically, Air Force ROTC is almost impossible to get into if you're anything past a sophomore. Army ROTC conflicted with a mandated class I had to take to graduate on time, and then it's too late for me as a junior to retake it without signing a contract, which would then get me to the same military problems of trying to enlist. But if I became a military civilian, I could attend Army ROTC as a guest. So that's a weird difference. But yeah, no, I only was an observer of ROTC, and it was Air Force ROTC, ironically enough. Yeah, I know a few people there. It's okay. I think especially the girls in Air Force ROTC, a lot of them are very pretty. Not all, but a lot are pretty. But some of them can be kind of judgmental. But some are just professional people who are doing jobs. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I had one Air Force. Okay, DA civilian. So kind of get into that. I've sent out my application to a bunch of organizations through USA Jobs, and I don't live in California, but I thought the California Guard was really cool enough that after college I might move there if I want to stay in the US. I might move to California for a variety of reasons, including better access to licensing for certain law professions and a lot of good rural towns there and the weather. So that's kind of would be my temptation to go to like rural California, then do state guard there. But I just thought it was really interesting. But DA civilian, I've applied to them. And it's kind of hard without a college degree. I applied to everything from a waiter on Fort Hamilton in the Bronx, or it's no, it's Brooklyn. It's Brooklyn or Bronx. Like it's funny I can't remember those things. To a painter for the U.S. Navy, to a interior designer, but they said I almost really need a college degree. I applied to be a architect for the Wisconsin National Guard, but they said they need a license, not a conceptual architect. And I sent one out to be can't remember some other tasks. I applied to a State Department posting. Um, it's just tough because you usually to get a lot of civilian jobs, you need at least a college degree or be very flexible with your location and or have some sort of like military experience, civilian government employment, Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, disabled veteran status, spouse of a veteran, or something like that. I would recommend going civilian. Maybe It's sort of it's possible. A few years ago, knowing everything I know now, if ever if I could just have that, like, college was done and I could just go off my meds, yeah, I might have done it like a year or two ago, but now I'm less interested in the military. Like, I still like it, but it's like, it's a long commitment for something I really wanted to do and made a good faith effort to do. But now I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to do it. I definitely like to soldier. Like, if I had to pick a job today, I would say soldiering. But honestly, I'd really, before like a lot of the weird stuff in the UK happened politically, I was also more interested in joining their army if I ever want to go active duty. But you're way better off, in my view, being National Guard or Reserve if like you want to join the Navy, which doesn't have a National Guard component, or you can't get into your state's National Guard. Being Guard or Reserve, ideally Guard, and then taking on a civilian military job. But yeah, no, we're doing auxiliary stuff. But yeah, no, if I was like in Australia and I was like an Australian permanent resident, or Ireland, which is just more they don't pay for your transit and you have to get a visa, which is a little tricky. But as a separate issue, I don't think I would have joined the Irish thing if I was an Irish citizen. But to get Irish citizenship, I'd do it, or path to Irish citizenship. I would have done it just to be in the UK. Let's become British. Yeah, would have done that. Um, would I do it to become Canadian? Yeah. Australia, do it for that. I mean, it also depends on the job. Like, if I had a job, I was in Ireland, the UK, Canada, whatever. As long as there was no real risk of getting in trouble with the US, I'd join their army. So if I'm still in the US and I don't have a job I'm more passionate about, I'd probably um, joining the US military. The main reason why I'd want to join a foreign military is two reasons. Mainly because I probably want to live overseas, and I can't really do that and be in a foreign military, but it has to be a US approved foreign military, so that's kind of frustrating. I'd kind of like an extra citizenship for those that give those out. I don't really want to do the French Foreign Legion stuff, but I might look into that if I really have no direction after college. But I'd have to learn French, so that doesn't really make that much sense because I have a lot of French family members who could probably sponsor my application for French citizenship. So that doesn't really make sense there. But it's like, look, I kind of want to live overseas anyway, so it's like, and I kind of want to be in the military, so that's my employment, so it just kind of makes sense. That's kind of the pragmatic reason. But the other reason is some of the other foreign militaries have better human rights protections for their soldiers. And by the way, I'm only really talking about NATO, Ireland, the industrialized world. Um, yeah, by the way, the US is way ahead of countries like most countries in the developing world on soldiers' human rights and prevention of war crimes and all those other things. But, Denmark has a lot more rights, especially for their home guard. Um, you do have to speak Danish, so that's a big con. But they do take immigrants. So if I could speak Danish and lived in Denmark for a few months, I would have some chance of getting into the Danish armed forces. I medically qualify for the UK Army, as crazy as that is, but I don't medically qualify for the American Army. Um, well, you don't need to know to join, but you need to know French Foreign Legion to, I believe, to stay in. Or like, huh? I didn't even know French. I mean, I just don't think I'd qualify, to be honest, because you have to. It's like special forces type shit. So that's why I don't think I qualify. But I don't know. Again, after college, I'll look into it. Because also you have to go to either French, I think it's French Guyana or like France directly. Like, you can't just talk to a recruiter like you can for most other militaries, and it kind of sucks. Spend all that time and money. Not so much the time, more the money to get there. Um, Ireland, I think, is a better deal if you're gonna, because you already have to pay for all the tickets yourself to do the French Foreign Legion. Ireland, I think, is a way better deal. You can go active duty there, which I don't really recommend. I like just doing the Irish stuff, and it's like the visa stuff's a lot harder if you want to go part time there, but just a better deal in my view. Hmm. All right, my story gets kind of boring after a while. Um, but all right. If anyone else doesn't have any other questions, I'll probably just kill the stream. Alright. Doesn't look very populated. Alright, so no, Nate, you went up in here. Someone please respond to a chat question. I'll give you guys a minute or two, otherwise I'm just gonna. Yeah, if no one's on stream in like a minute or two, I'm just gonna leave. Because then it doesn't feel like I have much point. Alright, so if no one's here, in post question, I'm gonna set the timer for like 50 seconds. And then if you don't ask a question, I'm just gonna stop doing the presentation because I don't really feel as much point to doing it. Um, yeah, I was interested in some of the other things I used to be a few years ago. Like, yeah. Let me just check to make sure there are no questions, because if I don't get any questions, I'm gonna just kill it now. Please like and subscribe. Do I have any more subscribers? Bye bye.